Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Horror Master YouTube channel. Yes, I'm back after God knows how long. It's been close to what, 2 months, 3 months since I've done a video update, which I'm still alive, people. I haven't gone anywhere. Work's been a bitch, life's been a bitch, but thankfully I am back to bring you guys another city collection update. This might be the last city collection update of the year. Maybe not, depending on what I get for Christmas and for eventually later on. But yeah, I'm back, and hopefully next year I can continue bringing you guys more videos. I might do a video into the year kind of talking about my albums of the year for 2023, depending on the scheduling of that. But regardless, I'm gonna show you guys all the goodies that I've gotten the past 2 months, and I did get a couple of good CDs, but the stack of them, I got some, from my birthday, got some literally the day after I recorded that previous video. So I have a lot of stuff to show you guys, but if you haven't followed my Instagram, you can kind of see more in advance the stuff that I get in my collection. So follow me on my Instagram to get more behind the scenes of my daily life and all that. But let's get into the city collections that I got for you guys this time. So starting with the first one, I have here Lacuna Coil's Common Lies. Now, I was originally gonna go see Lacuna Coil in San Antonio literally the week after I saw Cannibal Corpse, Mayhem, Blood Liquidation, and Gore Guts in San Antonio, which I'll talk about that in a bit when I get to those albums. But so when I heard that they were gonna come to San Antonio, I was like, you know what? I don't have an album one there, so of course I went with their most famous album, which is Common Lies. I mean, Heaven's a Lie, probably the main song for the album everybody knows, next to a song like Swamp, which, if my memory serves correct, that song was in one of the Resident Evil either games or films. Any Resident Evil fans out there, let me know down in the comments where it was. But if you go more into the album, you have songs like The Ghost Woman and The Hunter, The Prophet Said, Tightrope, Humane, Entwine, Angel's Punishment. I mean, if you like your symphonic metal or gothic metal, you want to get somebody into metal that doesn't want to hear, the gutturals and black metal or death metal. You want somebody to kind of go smoothly into metal, like a gothic metal band. The Lacuna Coil could be your album of choice, being it's a female-fronted band. A lot of people, especially a lot of women, would probably gravitate into that kind of genre. And after that, they could probably spread more into the more harsh kind of rock and metal stuff in the spectrum. But in terms of gothic metal, this is a great album. Give it a listen if you haven't listened to it. Next one is a bit of an oddity, but not really oddity, but hopefully I don't get censored, because of the album cover, even though it's not really a controversial album cover, it's more of a what the fuck album cover. Which I'm talking about with the British band Suede, I don't know how to pronounce it, but of course their subtitle debuted, Suede, whatever they want to call it. Underrated British rock. Not a lot of British rock bands are really underrated, especially this one. I actually became a fan of theirs after one time I was going on the radio years ago and I listened to the song Animal Nitro, which is the main single from the album, and I liked that song so much that I actually wanted more of the band. And when I saw the music video for Animal Nitrate, if you know, you know, but it gives me a lot of the Shining vibes. If you know, you know. And I was like, this is a really good song. And you listen more into the songs. Of course, the song I mentioned, So Young, Moving, the Drowners, Sleeping Pills, Breakdown, The Next Line, Animal Lover. Like I said, very, very underrated British rock. If you haven't listened to these guys, I highly suggest you all to listen to them. I've been trying to get more of their stuff lately, even though years later they kind of changed their name to the Midnight Sweater or something, the British Sweater or something around that. But to me, it will always be Sweater. And that album cover back in 1993 might have picked up some eyes, but nothing too controversial that I could put it in the controversial album cover series, which hopefully that series comes back eventually. But let's see how it goes. Next 2 albums in the collection are actually a duality of albums. One of them I actually got for my birthday from my good friend Chris Minnick, aka Levi. And of course, I'm talking about Blood Incantation with Star Spawn, and might as well bring it. That before I went to see Blood Incantation in San Antonio in October. I had the privilege of getting Hidden History of the Human Remain. So I have both the debut and the sophomore from Blood Incantation, a band that live is so fucking amazing, really fucking heavy. I mean, I was front row when they were playing, and I didn't realize they were that fucking heavy. I mean, but with the debut album, of course, it's the debut. Has a lot of really great tracks, especially the first song, the longest song, Dedication of Blood, which is part one, and then ends up with Chaoplasma, but you call it Soul Devourment. I mean, if you like your Stacey kind of metal, like Blood Incantation, especially there's an album to recommend you, it's Hidden History, their most notable album to date. They released an EP a couple of months ago, really great track. But from this album, of course, the big song that everybody knows is, of course, Awakening from the Dream of Existence into the Multi-Dimensional Nature of Reality. Mirror of Souls, God, that's a long ass fucking title track, but close to 18 minutes in length. That's pretty much around the same length Iron Maiden's Empire of the Clouds. So if you have time to spare, give it an album listen, but don't just listen to that song, listen to the other songs. And of course, Blood Incantation got a lot of notoriety, especially for one certain Mexican alien, to be true, not true. So, aliens, are they amongst us? I believe they are, but you never know. And of course, in that same show, like I said, it was Mayhem and Cannibal Corpse and Gorguts. Unfortunately, I didn't get any Mayhem CDs that they had. I wish I could have gotten one of the signed copies they had of the live album they released around a couple of months ago. I wish I could have gotten that, but they were all out. So that was pretty upsetting. But I did get some guitar picks from I keep forgetting the fucking guitarist that regardless what his name is, he put some guitar picks around the venue, so that was fucking cool. And of course, with Cannibal Corpse, I did get some cool stuff. First of all, I was able to get their latest album, Chaos Horrific, signed by the entire band, which it kind of cost me around $18, which is it's not a bad deal, especially being signed. Of course, everyone in the band is signed it, from Rob to Alex to Corpse Grinder to Paul, and even Eric Batang signed it. But one of my favorite death metal albums of the year, of course, they play a lot of songs from the album when I saw them live, front row. You can imagine how fucking brutal that show must have been. To the point I got vertigo 2 days after that show. You know how that fucking heavy. If you get vertigo after a Cannibal Corpse show, it was heavy, brutal, suffering a bit, but it was totally worth it. But this album, of course, Chaos Horrific, the title track was fucking amazing. Overloads of Violence, Summon for Sacrifice, Vengeful Invasion, Bloodblind, Pitchfork Impalement, that was a really heavy song. Drain Your Enemy, kind of going more doom, not really death doom, but still in the grandiose of Cannibal Corpse songs, a bit more slower tempo, but it's fucking amazing. Like, if you haven't listened to the new Cannibal Corpse album, give it a listen. You will fucking love it. And then before that, I actually had the opportunity after the show to meet up with Alex. Yeah, I actually met Alex Webster, which I might put a photo somewhere around here, if not, forgive me. But being that I was not really, what's the first way I can say, being that I had the opportunity to maybe meet some of the Cannibal Corpse guys, I decided to take an album with me to get signed. And there's a lot of albums I could have taken. I could have taken Get Back to Life. I could have taken Kill. I could have taken I figured out something else. Butcher the Birds. I could have taken I don't know, but I ended up going with the album that kind of got me into the band, and it was an introduction of Corpse Grind. Of course, I'm talking about Vile, and as you can see right here, Alex Webster signed it. So now I'm on a mission to have everybody sign this album. Of course, I have Alex down, so I just need Corpse Grinder, I just did Rob, Paul, and Jack. So hopefully in the years, along the years, I have the opportunity to meet them again and see them live and sign this full album so we can finally have the whole freaking band sign my original 96 vinyl CD, which was a pain in the ass to get. Trust me, people. And then, of course, in that same venue, Gorguts was playing. And also I had the opportunity to meet Luz from Gorguts, and he was a really nice guy. I actually talked to him when I actually got into the venue. I shook his hand, asked him for a picture. He said to wait after the show. It's gonna be at the tour. His kid was gonna be at the merch table and on stage. So for the rest of the show, so I kind of did that. I was at front row. He kind of fucking recognized me when I was at the front row. Fucking cool. So, and at the end of the show, when everything happened, I decided to go to, of course, his booth and see what he had. And of course, he had Colored Sands, and he was nice enough to have it signed. Of course, I have a picture with him, so I'm probably gonna put it somewhere around here. But again, Loose Lemon signed Colored Sands, which is the last album they released. And then, of course, a couple of days after that, he said they're gonna release an album. Of course, gonna release an album probably in 2024, which I'm fucking excited for that. But this album took me a while to get into because I wasn't really a big Gorguts fan back when I first heard of them. But as I saw them live and met Luz, I kind of gained more respect for them and was like, I need to see Gorguts, and I had the opportunity to see them. The title track is great. Enemies of Compassion, Forgotten Arrows, and Ocean of Wisdom. Really profound, almost prog death metal, but not really much prog, more out there, if that's a perfect way I can say it. But if you have time to spare, I think this album was like close to an hour around there. But if you have time to spare, give it a listen. If you haven't seen Gorguts or listened to Gorguts, give it a chance. You might actually enjoy them. At the beginning, I didn't enjoy them, but as I got older and saw the band live, because a band live could change the perspective of a band, and I have more respect for Gorguts now. I can tell you that much. We're almost to the finish line, and this next one was a birthday present that my sister gave to me. And being that Iron Maiden's gonna tour next year, funny enough, I'm wearing my Iron Maiden shirt. I decided to actually continue to complete the discography, and I was like, I need to get all the rest of the Maiden discography. So my sister was nice enough to buy me a Maiden CD to continue that discography. And of course, she bought me Iron Maiden's Life After Death, probably the greatest live album of all time, next to something like Kiss Alive, or maybe Metallica SNL, around there. But the story of the Power Slave tour, the grandiose of that tour, is one of the most legendary tours you can ever think of. And it's funny that this is this set. I mean, look at it, just 2 discs, which a lot of live albums actually don't have more than just a disc, and I like this album because, it's, if you haven't seen Maiden live, this is one of the closest chance you have the opportunity to experience Maiden live. Like I mentioned before, I had the opportunity to see Maiden back in 2019, and now I have the opportunity to see Maiden again in 2024 in November, which I'm fucking hell of excited. Can't believe I'm gonna see Maiden for the second time. It's still mind-blowing that I had the opportunity to see Maiden twice in a lifetime, so I'm pretty excited. But Live After Death, what more can I say about it? Hasn't been said about this album. All the songs, Children of the Damned, Rap Child, The Number of the Beast, Hallowed Be the Name, Round It Into Matter, Flight of Icarus, Phantom of the Opera, Aces High, 2 Minutes to Midnight. I can go on and on and on, but it's fucking Iron Maiden, people. Whatever Maiden does, it's fucking good, depending on who you ask or depending on the end of the day. But Hail Maiden, up the irons. And the last 3 albums were actually another Christmas gift that were given to me by my friend Alicia, which, thank you, Alicia, for giving me these 3 albums. And of course, I'm talking about Cream's Greatest Hits 1, Greatest Hits 2, and of course, Greatest Hits number 3. pretty much if you're a Queen fan, you're gonna need this collection because it has all the hit songs. Of course, Queen, the greatest hits part one has everything from the debut album to probably News of the World, which has Bohemian Rhapsody, The Game, We're the Champions, The Will Rock You, There's a Little Thing Called Love, Don't Stop Me Now, Another One Bites Dust. Actually, it's from The Game. Actually, no, from the subtitle to the games where this album kind of has everything, and it's fucking Queen. Like I mentioned before, you can never go wrong with Queen. Greatest Hits Part 2 has everything from a hot space to innuendo, plus we're talking about something like a kind of magic. Who Wants to Live Forever, The Show Must Go On, The Miracle, I Want to Break Free. That fucking video is so fucking funny. Kind of shocking that MTV banned that video in America, and you look at stuff around now and it's like something ridiculous, but it's Queen, people. You can never go wrong with Queen. And when Queen 3 is kind of more of the live tracks, that they unreleased live tracks that a lot of people like Elton John and David Bowie sang. Like for example, The Show Must Go On, and this track was sang by Elton John and the remaining bandmates of Queen. Or we have a song like The Great Pretender, which was from Freddie's solo album. Or you have a song like I think Barcelona, where Freddie Mercury did with Montserrat Caballé in an amazing duet. These Are the Days of Our Lives, kind of more songs of innuendo. Another One Bites the Dust, Queen with White Clean Jean, or Living on My Own, his own studio album. You have bonus tracks from live sessions, from Freddie's solo albums, Freddie's other projects. So, that's why it's called Queen Plus or Queen Greatest Hits Volume 3. And, if you're a Queen fan, this collection is for you. Personally, this collection is great, but I would like to get the other albums, the solo albums, because sometimes you want to listen to the entire album in its entirety and kind of appreciate the album for what it is, because Queen, regardless, doesn't have a bad album. They're all amazing. Yeah, they kind of jump genres from bit of a thrash kind of to a bit of a new wave to commercial rock to arena rock to kind of glamish in some perspective, but it's fucking Queen. Freddie Mercury, Brian May, Roger Taylor, John Deacon. What more can I say about Queen? And that's it for this video, guys. Hope you guys really enjoy this kind of unexpected CD collection update. I was kind of debating and waiting until next year to do this CD collection update, but I had time to spare. I was like, fuck it, I'll just record it right now. Hopefully you guys really enjoy this video. And hopefully next year I can bring you guys more CD collection updates more frequently. The CD shelf is growing in size. I'm already starting to get more CDs on the other panel, their side of the the shelf, so you can't really see it right there. But hopefully I can bring you guys more videos in the future. And of course, being it's the holiday season, hope you guys are enjoying it with your family, with your friends, with your loved ones, being together, at the fire, camping, eating, laughing, just enjoying life, because these are the moments that we need to unite as a family and be with our loved ones, because you never know what could happen today, tomorrow, a week from now. We could all be right here, and next thing you know, we're all gone. But regardless of that, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, everyone, and until next time, stay metal.